everyone, this is Elisa from Anaya's Toy Box Crochet, and I'm here to tell you what I've been up to. Thank you so much for coming. I do enjoy showing off my makes, and I'm so glad you come to see it. It's been a minute. It's been a long minute since I last recorded. Life happened, but mainly I kind of lost my Crojo. I only had one thing to show you, and that was this shawl, which I'll quickly show you right now. For the longest time, I was working on just this. Okay, sorry, I had to go. But I've been working on this shawl. This is the Dahlia shawl from Expression Fiber Arts, and I finished it. It's huge. Well, not huge, but it's big. I started this when I was in Florida, or just before I went to Florida. So the last time I filmed, I finished that, and then the next day, because I was packing that day, I started this shawl. I worked on it in Florida. I think I worked on it up to like here at Florida, and then since I came home, I slowly worked up the rest. I'm using 2 cakes of Halloween yarn. One is, this is Dahlia Halloween, and the color number for the first one, which I used the full skein of, is number 4. I don't remember what it is. I remember the story for this yarn is I fell in love with this colorway, the green one, the green fading into the purples, and I had to get it. And so I ordered it from Hobby, and it got lost. And finally, I went to Hobby and said, hey, where's my shipment? And they're like, oh, it seems to be lost, so we're refunding you the money. So they gave me back my money, but I didn't have the yarn. So I had to wait till the next year for Halloween to come again to get it. And here it is. I got it, and now I worked it up. I thought it looked good with this colorway. This colorway starts where? Right here. So the last few rows are this colorway, which is this one right here. There's quite a lot left. This one is it's also Halloween. It's color 2. It's also Dahlia Halloween. But anyways, I worked this up, and this was basically the only project I worked on for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. This is it. And so every time, no, not 3, but a week and a half maybe. And so every time I thought about filming, I'm like, oh, but I only have one thing to show. And this is still my only FO. Just so you know. Oh, I have one more FO, but that's tiny. This is still my only FO. So yes, my Crojo came back, but it's not completely back yet. Okay, so the next thing I was thinking of is Eid is coming up. What do I want to make as Eid gifts for various people in my life? And I decided I'm going to make earrings. So this also made me have a hit to my Crojo. But I made these earrings. It is completely done. I put the findings in, everything. It's done. This is done with crochet number 10 thread. I originally started with a 1.5 millimeter, but I crocheted too tight for 1.5 millimeters, so it was buckling. So here's the other one. So this a pair right here. There's a pair. I started with 1.5 millimeters, and it started buckling. And so I was like, ooh, I don't like that. And so then I switched to, well, I wanted to switch to my 1.75 millimeter, but I couldn't for the life of me find the thing. I couldn't find the hook. So I switched to 2 millimeters, and it turned out fine with 2 millimeters. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to leave it at 2 millimeters. So this is what it looks like. I used crochet thread for this. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to make some purple ones. My friends, my eyes are not the same as they used to be. I had so much trouble seeing the stitches on the darker yarn. And also, you know, like this one worked up pretty quickly. I was able to do it. Well, quickly once I got like what I wanted to do down. But I think my days of crocheting with small hooks and crochet thread is over. And that made me kind of sad, even though I knew I wasn't going to make, I had already decided this. I'm not going to make amigurumi with the thread anymore. I've decided that long time ago, and I haven't for years and years and years. That's why I have crochet thread lying around. But knowing that I can't, yeah, my Crojo took another hit. But finally I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to make these for Eid, so I kind of need to make them. And so I made a few more. I still have to make more than this, but I have a little bit of time. So I made, these ones are not complete because I did not weave in the ends and I didn't put the findings in yet. But that one was an experiment, so I wanted to see how it would work out. So the rest of these are made with number 2 yarn or sport weight yarn. So I made this. This is a little different because sport weight yarn is thicker, and so it was making, here's the first one I made. It was making a really big earring. So I changed around the pattern a little bit on this. But this was the second one I made. And since my Crojo had taken a hit, I wasn't thinking about, oh, how do I make this smaller? So the next few, which is this one and this one, were big, and then I worked out the small one, and these are the smaller ones. So I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs, 6 counting the crochet thread one. But I made 5 pairs with the number 2 crochet, no, that's not the crochet thread, number 2 yarn. This is a mixture of DMC cotton and rainbow. I think some of it is rainbow organic. So I'm like talking about vintage. You can't find it anymore in Hobby yarn, because I have not ordered rainbow in a long time, and I have stuff from when they first started selling in the US. I have some old balls of yarn, and I would love to use them up, but I only bought 1 of each because amigurumi does not need too much yarn. And so now I look at it and I'm like, what am I going to make with that? Well, I made earrings so far. I made 5 pairs. This is number 6, and I'm using my tulip 2mm hook for this, and it's in my Billy bag. All right, so I made those earrings. It took, and my Crojo took another hit after that. But heck, Eid is coming. I still have to make presents. I have most of them done, but I needed to make one more. And so I looked up a pattern for an ant for this little boy who I think will like ants. And I found the pattern and I liked it, and so I bought it. And then I started making the pattern, and then I got to the point where you make the arms and the legs, and found out that you're supposed to pull apart the yarn and use 2 strands of yarn after you pull it apart with a smaller hook to make the arms and legs. And I was like, I'm not pulling apart any yarn. So I made this, and then I left it. I abandoned it for a long time. Until I decided, okay, I can figure this out. And so I made the arms. I just have to, it's finished crochet wise. I just have to sew them all on. The arm is done and the legs are done. I did, make up the pattern for the arms and the legs. Let me see if I could do it in a way, hold it in a way that you can see it. So, and the pattern had called for 2 legs, and I decided to make 4 legs because, here it's going to be like this. Ants have 6 legs. So the arms and the legs would make it 6. So I made that. I just have to sew it up. Then I went to my son and said, hey, what do you want? And he went through my crochet books and he chose this. Let's see if I can show the picture. This is from the Pika Pal book. Right there. The Friends of Pika number 3. That's the only one I have. And this is Angus Squirrel. So I only have one Pika book, and that is the number 3. And Angus Squirrel is what he wanted. Again, this is like normally when I crochet to enjoy it. This is sort of like, oh, I need to make a present. But I made it. It is finished crochet wise again, like the other ones. I think this is the ear. And, woo, so I'm going to stay. And I have the arm somewhere in here. I finished it crochet wise. I just need to sew it up, and I haven't sewn it up yet. So it was an almost finished, not quite finished. Same thing with the earrings, same thing with the ant. Almost finished, not quite finished. Projects. But anyways, I forced myself to do that, and it took a while. And it wasn't until I thought, okay, I want to crochet, but I want to crochet something super easy, that I took out super easy, super repetitive, something that'll make me enjoy crochet again. Because like I said, my Crojo was gone and I wasn't feeling it. And so I started to make another C2C join as you go blanket, or what was it called again? Something treasures. I forget what it was called, but it's linked down below, and I've linked it down below many times. So this is, I finished making a big one for my son, and I used all of these colors in it, but I didn't need any more because I had finished the blanket. So I just picked up those colors and made more for a baby blanket. And that is what it looks like so far. I actually weaved in the ends as I went. I was very good. I don't know how long that's going to last. But I weaved in the ends as I went, and I actually worked until, like, I don't like the rows to have repeat colors. So I do have more of, which yarn? I have more of this yarn. I have more of this yarn. I have more of this yarn. I even have more of this yarn, but then it would be like 2 of those in the same row, and I don't like that. So I stopped working on it because I need to, you know, go through my bin of working yarn and take out some more yarn, and I just didn't get around to doing it. But that's what I have so far for this baby blanket. And the last thing I'm going to show you is, give me a second, I just want to look up the pattern name. Okay, I'm back. So I mentioned I want to go through my crochet thread and finish it. The earrings obviously did not work. So I was thinking, okay, you know what? I'm just going to take all of these threads and turn them into shawls. I think I will be able to get, like including this one, 3 shawls out of my crochet thread. I'm not sure though. But we'll see what happens. But I took out my crochet thread. This is still Yama wool, which is 80% something. I don't have the labels with me, but basically it's all in a different language. And when I say different language, I mean it's a different script even. And so I took those out, and I had this green, this blue, and a purple, which I do not have with me, left of the Yama yarn. And I decided I'm going to put those 3 together. It's still not going to be enough to make a shawl, but I do have a purple in either, I think it's Aunt Lydia, I'm not sure, but I'm going to add that to this. So far I have 2 of the colors worked up. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous pattern. This is Bago Day. It is called the Wonderwall shawl. It is gorgeous. I am loving it. I'm liking working it up. It is taking a little bit more. No, not that I would have been finished since I started, but like I said, my Crojo took a hit, and I still have my Crojo, or I'm gaining it back, but it's not the same as before. So here it is, the shawl. It is gorgeous. I'm working up the blue section now. I'm actually just finishing the yarn, like making sure I could finish the row, but not necessarily saying it has to be at this row or this row. This is a 6-row repeat shawl. I will link it down below so you can check it out. I'm not necessarily saying, oh, it has to finish on row, I don't know, 5 or row 6, and then I'll start the other thing. No, as long as I could finish a row with it, I am finishing the row. So I finished this green yarn. I do believe I used it before on an amigurumi, so it's not a full skein. Same thing with the blue. I think only the purple one I haven't touched yet. So there it is, this shawl. This is what I'm working on the most right now. Instead of sewing up the amigurumi or making the earrings that have a deadline, I am making this. But I am enjoying it, and I'm feeling my Crojo coming back, so I'm liking that. Anyways, oh, I'm using a G hook for the crochet thread project. For this shawl, I used a I hook right here, for the Halloween yarn project. And oh my gosh, this is a 2-weight yarn shawl. It is lightweight, but after touching the crochet thread one, this feels like it's a thick shawl. But anyways, this one I used an I hook to make it with a 2-weight yarn. Yes, so it's done. This one is my only FO for the past, I don't know, or I guess that earring is one of my FOs, but whatever, I am done. I hope my Crojo comes back. I really do. But anyways, that's what I have. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to hear more from me, please subscribe. Bye.